Thanks for joining us today for B.R.M.C's Healthy Connections. Leslie Dew is our guest today, and she wears many hats at the hospital.
Yes, many hats.
Now, as what a lot of folks may not know is that employee health and wellness, we're always trying to make sure our employees are healthy.
Yes.
And that's one of the jobs, one of the many that I know that you do. Tell us a little bit about what goes on upstairs. It's on our third floor of the Medical Arts Building.
We have a wonderful facility and that is very supported by administration, and we provide a lot of opportunities for our employees for healthy exercise programs that are designed for what their individual needs are. We also help get connections with different weight loss programs within the community. We offer exercise classes. We've got a great new website for the employees online that will offer a place for exercise logs, dietary logs. You can enter in nutritional information and you can get it into your diet. We have great programs going on, such as our once-a-year employee wellness screening, where we test all of the labs, and the employees get almost $200 worth of labs,
which is wonderful.
Yes, and then based on those criteria, they get premium reductions. We also offer for part-time employees. We also offer some cash incentives based on healthy living. If you miss these incentives, we also give you the opportunity throughout the year to earn them back through education and classes. So
it's not like a one-time, you missed it. It's ongoing.
It's ongoing. Wellness is ongoing and a journey.
Sure.
And everybody's at a different stage in that journey, and we recognize that and want to give them the tools to move on with a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I know, and I know you're always working hard on that, Leslie.
Yes, it's definitely a daily struggle for me, and I'm so fortunate to work at a place that I have all the tools that I need. And then, of course, with the community houses, the community has a lot of those tools available to them.
You bet.
With just coming by and saying hi, and they can get a lot of direction and healthy choices there too.
We just recently, of course, as you well know, because you were instrumental in a part of this with our Lend a Hand and explaining to the community what our 4 community houses do. And in the not too distant future, we'll have Jan Halligan, who is a dietary nutritionist. She's got more degrees behind her name than I can even pronounce most of the time, and knows everything about nutrition that you'd possibly want to know. And she'll be on the show talking about healthy holiday treats. But, But I know one of the things that you do too, as a department secretary, sometimes you get loaned out.
Yes.
And recently, we just celebrated Halloween and the end of October, which is hence the scrub outfit on here. We're celebrating pink and with all of our cancer ribbons on. We wanted everyone to be aware that, yes, the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. However, there are a multitude of cancers, and we always want to keep that in the forefront of people's minds, that the Heights Cancer Support House is there to do just that, educate and support them with any type of cancer.
Right, with any type of cancer.
So I know you get on loan over there occasionally.
Yes, I get to. I have the great job of helping with the Heights Cancer Support House pet calendar, and I actually get to work with our little divas, our little models, and I get to get that job. That's the fun part.
I have firsthand knowledge of that, working with our photographer this year and watching Leslie in action with the pets, because they're out of their home environment, there's strangers around, there's different scents and smells from the other pets that have been photographed.
And bright flashing lights.
And Leslie absolutely gets them to perform and to look relaxed. You relax them. Yeah,
we try.
Get them relaxed so that we can get those photos for the Pause for the Cause calendar that's ready to come out right now.
Yes, I've had a lot of people ask me when's it coming, so it's going to come out in the next couple of weeks, I believe.
Next couple of weeks, and boy, do those make great holiday gifts. That's, and this year, I know, just like the other years, there's wonderful photos.
There's some great photos in there. We had some great models this year, and it's always such a tough selection to narrow it down to those 12, but we get a group of anonymous judges to get it down, and then we go from there. So.
And made me think also, you're not only just excellent with handling the pets, but the parents of the pets.
Yes.
Because they bring them in, and these are the empty nesters here. These are their children.
They are, and I understand that.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, he'll do this. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm one of the lucky people that I'm fortunate that I'm a pet person and a people person. So I hope I do a good job of bridging that gap when we come down there and putting both aspects at ease. And I know that the coordinator at the house has some allergies, so we also have to work around her allergies, which is always kind of fun, and we
the
joke
poor
a lot
thing,
about
she
it.
loves animals, but can't
yes,
get near them.
Can't get near them.
So.
Allergies can be kind of tough, especially in the spring and fall.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I know too, I wanted to mention that you and I talked about earlier before we started the show. With Halloween has just come and gone, and one of the things that you had done was be part of the trauma unit, acting as their secretary, taking some notes, and tell us about some of the things that came out that were recommended for parents that really need to be more or less year-round with daylight savings coming, and it'll be darker sooner and earlier.
You know, the kids are going to be, there's a lot of kids that will be waiting for the bus, for example, in the dark in the morning, and are doing their exercise in the afternoons, and as it gets to be evening, a big thing is reflective wear, bright colored clothing, flashlights that blink a bright orange or a bright white, as cars come on. Make sure that you use the appropriate rules of the road. If you're walking, walk into traffic. If you're biking, the bikes have the same rules as the cars. But if you are a biker, make sure your reflectors are working and visible. It doesn't hurt to have a flashlight that you can kind of flash behind you. Wear your mirrors. Helmets are especially important with bike riders.
Right. Yeah, all of those things. And like you said, the reflective clothing most of all. I think of just driving in some mornings to work, coming in from the Bull Shoals area around the lakes, and the fog can be so heavy. It's tough to see other cars, even with their lights on coming at you, let alone kids waiting for buses. So, yeah, the more you can do to make your child safe, the better.
I also encourage my niece and nephew when they're waiting, if they're going to have their iPod on, just have one speaker in. That way they still are aware of what's going on around them, so they can hear if it's foggy and a car's coming up, or if they insist on having both of the earphones in, make sure it's at a reasonable distance. If their friends have to yell or raise their voice, it's too loud and also can cause some hearing damage. So encourage your kids to keep it low, especially during the dark times.
So much with technology.
Yes.
Things that we didn't have to think of once upon a time, certainly when my children were younger. But it's amazing what is out there now that I hadn't thought of that. That's a great suggestion for parents. Make sure your kids can hear what's going on around them so that they're aware of what's going on. Yeah.
So many times, especially in today's technology, we're in texting or reading or, and if we just have one ear, we can't have two eyes, but you can always have one ear listening.
Good idea. Good idea. So what else have you been doing as the floating secretary, as I like to call you sometimes?
Well, as the floating secretary, of course, we helped with Lend a Hand and had a great success there. This is the time of year where we start thinking about the employee fund drive coming up, and the employee wellness screening will be coming up, and spring is a huge time. We've also got some good lunch and learns coming up for the holiday time, where we're talking about treats and
well, let's save that thought. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go away, and we'll learn all about what's coming up in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.